today we're together.
Hey,
We're in Pompton Lakes. We're at the Collectors Market. It's like a flea market collector show.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest with us.
Hello.
Cassidy's back from school. It was my birthday week, so Brian promised he's going to buy me Fantastic Four #1 if we see it.
if we see it.
So let's go inside and see what we see. It's outside and inside. This should be fun.
We worked on a bunch.
Kirby worked on a bunch of them.
Kirby did too, yeah. So did Simon. Worked with Kirby on a lot of that stuff.
You want to look through those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Way better than the one I paid $15 to get into. Good.
Everything's on sale as usual. Let me know if you're interested in anything.
Thank you. Flip through the comics. So as you can see from the intro, we went to our first, and definitely our first, it's like a collector's flea market.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a convention. It was more like just regular people who brought collectible stuff there. So
That
it's
they
not
wanted to sell,
right.
yeah.
So it's not like you're selling like clothing or some, you know, you go to a flea market, see a lot of junk. And if you check out our last flea market video where we completely struck out big time, this one was all collectibles, and we bought some stuff, some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And I think probably one of the most interesting things were what they had. They had some really interesting stuff
They really
there.
did. They had some stuff that was surprising, and the pricing on it was
That's
even
it. Pricing
more surprising.
was fantastic. It was filled with so many unique items.
Yeah.
Some we bought, some we passed on, some we took pictures of, so you'll be able to see them.
Yeah.
I would say my takeaway was lots of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of Star Wars stuff. Yes.
We saw some, you know, Ewok puzzles that I'd never seen before from after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Never saw
Those
those
are
before.
amazing.
There was one guy who had those, and he had a whole bunch of vintage magazines, Kiss magazines, Alien stuff. It was...
One guy had the Millennium Falcon, the original Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. That guy had a whole bunch of other
Yeah, he had a lot of original
vehicles.
stuff. Yeah.
They were banged up, though.
Yeah, they were pretty beat up.
Yeah, like they looked like they were sitting in his basement for a while.
Yeah, that might have been his.
It probably
when he
was.
a kid, yeah.
I saw this one thing. It was a punch out and make it book. So you would punch them out, and make cardboard stuff. Never saw that before.
Yep.
kicking myself. Probably should have bought it.
There's a bunch of stuff that I thought about, and I bought a lot of. I don't usually buy a lot when we go to these things. I bought a lot this time.
Before we talk about my haul, I'm going to yell at you about something.
Oh.
But we'll wait till we get to my haul.
Okay.
This convention even had, or flea market, however we want to refer to it, it even had Justice League Unlimited figures.
Yeah, which you don't see a lot.
Never see that.
No.
And they had like 5 or 6 of them. Unfortunately, I had them, so...
Well, I think we figured out a certain formula that the tables for the vendors were inexpensive. They were like $40.
And there was inside and outside. It was $40 inside, like $30 outside.
So it wasn't professional vendors.
No, which I think might have been better for us.
People just selling stuff they had.
Collectibles they had.
Yeah. And that's why the pricing on it was so... I mean, the pricing was really good.
Because when you go to a convention, those tables are usually like $1.50 at a small convention.
Yes.
Could be upwards of thousands at big conventions, but at a small convention, it's usually $150, $175.
And this was like a group of people, it seemed like, who just really wanted to unload stuff that they just didn't have room for anymore, or things like that. And we saw some really cool stuff.
Really cool stuff. There was that alien figure.
There was a prototype alien... when they make a figure, they make a prototype sculpt before making the figure. And this was for a McFarlane line for the Alien, or one of the Alien figures. Yeah. And it was solid metal.
So it was like this big.
And it was at least 10 inches tall.
Yeah.
Solid metal. And I think the guy wanted $800 for it, which probably is a steal.
Probably a great price
for a prototype, but a little too rich for our blood.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool to see it.
Our wives would not want us to walk in with an $800 figure.
No.
There was also some cool watches.
Oh, yeah, they had watches.
Yeah, Green Lantern, Superman, a couple other ones. VHS tapes.
They were selling VHS tapes. You know, one of the things I noticed, one of the tables had a ton, and again, it was one of the things I was kicking myself that maybe I should have gotten some of this stuff, ton of Batman Returns merchandise.
Yes.
So they had the Michael Keaton plastic bank.
Yeah, he had all like the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like not like figures and stuff, like the weirder stuff.
They had the 3 dolls. They had the Penguin, Catwoman, Batman doll set, and they were selling the set of 3 of those for $50.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Really good price. They had records. There was a couple of record sellers. A lot of Disney records.
Yeah.
There was some sports cards, some non-sports cards. I saw a G.I. Joe box.
Yeah.
I don't know what this was.
They had a whole set.
No, it was the box. Unopened box. It was $125.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good price, but
it was something that I don't really know much about. Maybe you guys do if you know about G.I. Joe cards. It was the original G.I. Joe series unopened packs in the unopened box.
In an unopened box for $125, which
probably
sounds
good.
To me like a good price, but I don't know.
I know nothing about it. And here's Brian found some of his favorite things. Brian likes romance comics.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many awesome creators worked on romance comics when the superhero work got thin? Kirby, Wally Wood, a whole bunch of really good artists. There's a bunch of these in here.
Hot rods and girl comics. That's what Brian likes.
Yeah,
so now you know that Brian doesn't only like gladiator movies.
Yeah.
He loves the romance comics and hot rods.
Yeah, no, I don't collect romance comics, but it was a really cool thing to see those because they were sort of like the prime. They look to me, again, I didn't get a chance to open the pegs and look through them, but they look to me like that era of the romance comics when like people like Jack Kirby were working on romance comics, or like
that guy was a vendor.
Schuster, yeah, he was a vendor because his prices were
a little high for a flea market.
But that was just cool to see.
Yeah.
You just don't see that stuff.
So while Brian was looking at romance comics, I did my favorite thing.
Not TikTok.
No, not TikTok. Twitter. So I said it was him. He said no.
Oh, I heard the argument in the car.
It was me, not him.
Dollar bins.
I searched through dollar bins, so I spent most of my time looking through dollar bins. There were a lot of comics.
Yeah.
There were a lot of comics.
They had a lot of comics, a lot of dollar bins.
Including dollar bins, but there were wall books, so the guys had comics worth a lot of money up behind them, and their prices were fantastic for those. So they weren't like convention prices, they were like flea market prices.
No, they were good.
So they were good prices. We probably would have brought more money with us if we would have known. Actually, I almost bought a Fantastic Four number 14.
Yeah.
In good condition, but it was a little bit too expensive for what I had in my pocket. I mean, to me, this was absolutely worth the trip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was about an hour drive for us, and as you saw at the opening, my daughter came with us. She's going to be part of the haul too. She bought some things too. So
keep your eyes open for Collectors Flea Markets. This was
Yeah.
a great find, and I can't wait for this to happen again.
Me-
The guy, I think one of the vendors, I think, said they do it 4 times a
Yeah,
year.
and the vendors were really friendly too. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we
great.
Chatted with a bunch of guys. I only had one issue, and if you've been watching us long enough, you know I have an issue with flea markets, and we saw it in one of the vendors. If you have comic books outside or magazines outside, and you move them outside, inside,
The
they
moisture,
get the
yeah.
moisture inside of them. And we only saw it with one vendor. I actually bought comics from a vendor that was outside, but this guy owned a store, and he was just there selling some of his
Yeah.
overstock. And I'll let you know, he offered me a deal. I'll let you know what his deal was when I talked about my haul.
Yeah, I remember that.
So let's get into the haul video. Brian's going to show you first. Brian has probably his biggest haul yet on the show.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then I will go into, my daughter will show you her haul, and then I will go into my haul. So, you know, relax, sit back. We're going to be here for a little while, not too long. Brian actually bought stuff this time. So.
A lot. I went a little crazy on this one
So-
because again the prices were just too.
There you go. Here's Brian's haul.
Okay, so what do I start with? Let's see. I think we'll start with these two. Okay. Now, years back, Funko had something called the DC Legion of Collectors, and they sold these specialty 3 3/4 figures. I got 2 of them for $10. So I wouldn't have ordinarily bought both because I really only wanted one, but the guy said 2 for 10, and
Yep.
I thought $5 each for that is pretty good. So I got Starfire, which was the one I would not have normally bought. Starfire in this on the card, DC Legion of Collectors from Funko. Unpunched too, and you see there the nice graphic on the back of the classic, I believe, George Perez.
That's correct.
Yeah, incarnation of the Teen Titans. So yeah, apparently they also made a Raven and a Cyborg of this line, which is crazy that they didn't make Nightwing.
I still can't believe
I've never seen Nightwing online, but this is pretty good. $5 for this.
$5, you can't beat that.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
And like I said, it was a 2 for 10 deal, and I had to get this one. The Action Comics #1 Superman on the card, unpunched. So you see there, you get Superman in his original uniform. It's a DC Legion of Collectors, Action Comics #1 version. And you got a nice, again, great packaging on the back. You got a little comic strip there on the back. It's really, really nice.
Now, most of these that exist would be unpunched because they came in with other stuff. They would never really, could never buy these on shelves. They were never sold in stores.
Right. But it's nice. I like it. Nice little artifact. It's going to look good on a shelf. You know, so
it's
there
good.
you go.
It's a good looking figure.
Yeah. So what will we do? Trek next?
Go ahead.
Trek.
Space.
I've talked about my love for Trek before in the past. Now, the first Trek item I bought, and a lot of people were selling Star Trek stuff, by the way.
A lot of Star Trek, a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah. So the first thing I got was this little collector's plate, which is from 1991. It's just a tiny little collector's plate with the original crew from the original series on it. Cool little thing. You got Scotty there behind the boards about to send them on a mission. So it's like a nice little, like, sort of Franklin Mint style.
Tiny Franklin Mint.
Tiny little plate.
Brian's going to eat.
I'll get a nice little
dinner
holder.
off of that.
Yeah, a little snack. Maybe a little cookie. No, but I'm going to put it on a little holder, maybe. Put it on some shelves. It's going to look nice. It's a nice thing.
It's a nice.
You got a nice thing to have.
It's a nice. Nice.
Yeah.
But there's more Star Trek.
A lot more Star Trek. Okay, now, there were 2 figure lines that were created for Star Trek The Next Generation originally. This was back in the late 80s, early 90s. The Gloob series was first. And I believe they didn't sell that well.
They did not.
The Gloob series. They weren't bad figures.
They weren't bad.
But then Playmates made figures
huge,
for Star Trek, which were a lot nicer.
And they made a lot of figures.
And these are all from about 91, 92, probably.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll start with the crew members I got first. Okay. I got me a Commander William Riker. Commander with a little battle damage on him, I noticed. So I wonder if that's a variant. His shirt is torn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's a little variant. I don't know. A little William Riker action figure. Next up on the crew, we got Geordie LaForge, which in the package, he looks like he's under distress. He's holding his hand to his forehead.
Oi!
I'm not sure what happened.
sorry.
But yeah, there you have Geordie. You know? Put that over there.
Oh, the back of the cards give like a
Yeah, they have like a list of
breakdown
that
on
series.
them.
Yeah.
And it gives a...
Oh yeah, it has
it's
like a little like the G.I. Joe
Yeah.
figures. They had the little
And that's the whole
file
series,
card.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Brian actually just bought most of them when we were there.
I got a lot of these, yeah. So next up, my favorite crew member from the Next Generation. I know everyone who loves Data is going to yell at me, but Worf. There's a Worf figure with his typical scowling expression there. There you go. That's Worf. And again, notice all of these, by the way, are unpunched.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
These being unpunched. These came right out of a case.
And then probably the most popular
1992
of the original crew member, Data. Got a little Data figure there. So there he is, Lieutenant Commander Data.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the conventions we go to, we don't really see these.
We don't see these a lot. No, you don't.
I mean,
see
obviously, if you've been watching us, you know we go to mostly the comic book conventions, but we have done some toy conventions.
Yeah, and I went a little toy crazy.
Yeah,
on
you
this
did.
one,
You bought a lot of toys.
I still got more to go.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're outside the crew. Okay, no more crew members, but here we have we got a Romulan, just plain old Romulan.
To the villains.
Yeah, some of the villains. Plain old Romulan figure.
You didn't get a Ferengi, I don't think.
No, I didn't. I would like to get a Ferengi, but no.
Brian's new collecting.
It's bad. Yeah, so for Romulan, there you go. And popular guy in memes right now, Gowron, leader of the Klingon High Council. There you go. There's a
Why is he
Gowron
popular
figure.
in memes?
Because his face. They use that scowling, weird, that crazy expression he's got all the time.
So
they
he
use him in memes a lot. Yeah, right.
It's nice that they all come with stands for them to stand.
And little accessories. He's got little, like, whatever those Klingon dogs are called. I'd have to look it up.
Cool.
But they probably have it listed on the package there.
It's called a...
Good luck.
TAS, T-A, I think T-A-A. I can't really see it.
Yeah.
You guys can probably see it a little better than I can. There it goes right there. A tag.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
See, my eyes don't work like they used to.
And then, of course, one of my favorite villains in the show, the Borg. The Borg, which is a great figure. Actually, I owned this one way back in '91, and it was lost to the mists of time, and I now have replaced it.
But no, he only bought one, but when he took it home, there was a second one already materialized. He doesn't know how it happened.
They're already replicating.
They are taking over.
I think one Borg figure assimilated one of my other figures.
That's what happened to your Picard figure.
That's why I don't have a Picard figure.
Assimilated him to a Picard.
They actually do have they have a Locutus figure.
This is when I loved when you get that on there.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
The price tag.
$5.99. Toys R Us. Did you pay $5.99 for these?
I paid less than $5 for each one.
Less than what they originally. How much were these? There are 1, 2, 3.
The whole
4,
bunch
5,
was
6, 7, 8.
The whole bunch was $30.
8 for $30.
8 for $30.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah, 2 Borg. If I put them out for display, which I might open these. I know. If I put it out for display, I'll have 1 Borg with 1 set of hands.
Oh, it's funny.
One Borg with the other set.
This one's punched.
Oh, look at that.
This is the only one that's punched.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that was the Star Trek haul.
Is that all the toys you bought?
No.
Oh my goodness! How many toys did you buy, Brian?
I really hope my wife's not watching this.
Brian says his wife doesn't watch these. If she's watching this one, oh boy, he's in trouble.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't go home today.
You probably shouldn't. No, it's not going to be live yet.
I might be at the Staten Island
There you
Marriott
go.
after this. Okay, so then...
At least you'll have your toys.
I actually don't... Yeah, right? Me in a hotel room full of toys. Yeah. That's how I thought I'd end up anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so... These are called what again?
Mighty Mugs.
Forgetting. Mighty Mugs. Okay, so Mighty Mugs. I got me a Grimlock from the Transformers. I'm pretty sure it's Grimlock. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me, because I think just based on the color scheme that this is Grimlock in his robot form. So just let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, is this Grimlock? I think it is. I actually had the Grimlock.
I don't really know Transformers.
I had the original Grimlock toy when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is him. But if I'm wrong,
do not know.
Someone out there, please correct me. Second Mighty Mugs, the ever-loving Thing, old Blue Eyes himself, and this one, that's a present for Chad.
Oh, thank you.
Because Chad didn't buy it, and I knew he wanted it.
And how much were these?
2 for $5.
2 for $5. That's a great price.
2 for $5 on that one.
Mm-hmm. I was able to resist. Brian was not.
I could not. The longer we stayed, the longer you looked through dollar bins, the more toys I bought.
So we were getting ready to leave, and every time we got ready to leave, I saw more comics, so I stopped and looked. And every time Brian would walk away and he'd come back with something. Like, oh, I bought this.
Yeah.
I don't really want this. I bought this. I think this was one of the last things you bought was this.
That was one of the first things I bought.
Oh, one of the first things you bought?
That was like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Of like $1.
My little plate was like $2.
Prices were just fantastic.
Crazy.
Fantastic.
Crazy. All right, now.
You done? That's all toys?
No, one more toy.
What? That's not... No, Brian.
The best one. The best of the bunch.
Your wife is leaving you.
We did ages and ages ago, it feels like. We did a history of the original Alien toy.
Yep.
Imagine if I pulled the original Alien toy out right now.
That would
It's
be
not
awesome.
That. Don't get excited.
Which we both had.
It's not the original Big Chap. But it is the NECA version of the Big Chap original Alien from the movie Alien.
Take a guess how much you pay for this. Because I think this is probably one of the better deals at the show.
This was... Yeah, look, there's a million points of articulation on this guy. Plus his mouth opens, his head swivels up and down. The tail moves. It's a great figure. NECA makes some fine products. So this here, that was the loose figure I bought. This was $7.
That's crazy.
$7. This is like a $45 figure easily. So
That's
$7 for this for the Big Chap here. Where's he going? I don't know. I gotta find a place.
Shelf somewhere.
I gotta find a place for him. But, I mean, how could you pass this up?
On your nightstand.
Plus, the Alien series of movies happens to be one of my favorite things of all time. I love them. Even the bad ones, I love.
On your nightstand.
Yeah, nightstand. Yeah, right next to where my wife and I sleep. That would be a
on your nightstand.
That would be a great thing for a nightstand, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, very inspiring for sleep.
Get some glow in the dark paint.
So this was definitely, I think,
that's a good deal.
My treasure of the day. Next to those Legion of collector toys were those are pretty great because I didn't even know they existed before I saw them.
Superman and their Starfire.
So there you go.
You have some other ones loose too, right? You bought some of the.
I have one of the early '90s figures that I got that Queen with the wings.
Yeah, you do, right? You bought that when we went to the other flea market.
Yes, the other flea market.
You always buy Alien toys at the flea market.
Flea markets, man.
Interesting. By the way, is just like a flea market.
I noticed they had Terminator 2 NECA toys there for very cheap. But they only had the T-1000 in the police uniform, and I didn't really want that.
You didn't want that one.
Like if they had the T-800, if they had Arnold, I would have been all.
Listen, when we go to the next installment of this, we're going to approach it very differently than we did this one. We were not expecting it to be like it was.
Oh no, this was way better than we thought.
And we were limited on time, so we didn't have as much time there as we wanted to. So is that it? That's your whole haul?
No.
I
got comics too.
Brian's biggest haul ever.
Got comics. Okay. Let's go with monthlies. Well, not monthlies, but monthlies. A couple of monthlies, not many.
More like monthlies.
These were from Dollar Bins. Now, was that recently?
It's not too long ago, but...
I completed the entire run of the Micronauts and started the New Voyages series, despite the fact that everyone tells me it's not that good. Oh, well. Anyway, this I didn't know existed until you pulled it out of one of the Dollar Bins. It's #1 of X-Men and the Micronauts. It's a 4-issue limited series that I now have to finish. This is #1. So there you go. You got the classic mid-'80s team facing off against someone from the Micronauts universe. I don't know who it is.
Who.
Because he's got a laser sword like a Croyer. So yeah, got that in Dollar Bin. And again, another series I was not aware of. This is written by Robert Kirkman, illustrated by Jason Howard. It's called The Astounding Wolfman from Image.
Never heard of it.
So it's a Kirkman series, so I thought, like, how bad could it be,
Can't
really?
be.
Right? And so I got #1, and I got me #2.
And do you know how long it went?
I do not. And that is all the monthlies I got, but I found this one. Now, in the early 80s, Marvel put out a series of just graphic novels. They were one-shot graphic novels in a magazine size, but with prestige format printings.
The most popular being...
Oh, God Loves, Man Kills, the X-Men story. Death of Captain Marvel?
Death of Captain Marvel is definitely the most... Jim Starlin, right?
Yeah, it was Jim Starlin.
That's
by the way, God Loves, Man Kills, the X-Men story is fantastic. But you don't see a lot of them around these days, honestly. No. So when I saw this, I thought, I definitely have to get it.
Because, you didn't know? Did you know that even existed?
No, I did not. It's a Killraven story. We did a whole series on Killraven.
And I've been buying all the regular
This is comics. Marvel graphic novel story of Killraven. There you go.
Did you read it yet or no?
Not yet. I have not gotten into it yet. Don McGregor and P. Craig Russell put this one together.
We recently interviewed Howard Chaykin, who was the original artist for that character.
Yeah. And he's not very
And he
happy.
hates them.
He doesn't
He
like
hates that
He didn't
character.
like that comic.
There you go.
Okay, and now this is it. This is the last of what I bought.
Oh my goodness! Everyone, all of our regular viewers are going. Brian never buys this much stuff.
He's gone crazy.
This must have been a good.
He's gone
flea
mad.
market. Yes.
Okay, so someone was selling trade paperbacks.
This is the last thing you bought.
This is the last
Yeah.
thing I bought. They were selling trade paperbacks 5 for $20. So I picked up
You bought 5.
Green Hornet, Volume 1 of a story called The Bully Pulpit, because I got a little thing for those Golden Age characters. And this is written by Mark Waid.
Oh, nice.
So, and Mark Waid does a good job on
put
these
it out?
old-fashioned characters. Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite. Also by Dynamite, Battlestar Galactica, The Cylon War trade paperback. Good series.
Did you watch that show?
Oh, I loved it.
No, I never watched it.
You got to watch this.
I never watched
The
Battlestar
reboot is fantastic. One of the best sci-fi series
Really?
ever.
Never
Oh my
watched
god, great. Also, my man Alex Ross, Jim Kruger, The Black Terror,
His stuff on that Dynamite stuff is
also from
fantastic.
Dynamite. Yeah, another Golden Age character they brought back during the Project Superpowers
Alex
series.
Ross's stuff is great. Dynamite.
Here's yet another Golden Age character that came back. From the screenwriter of Die Hard, wrote this one. Originally created by Will Eisner,
That's an interesting
Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. And this is a storyline called Dark Rising. Got very good reviews from Ain't It Cool News, so yeah, I'll check it out.
Awesome.
And of course, I really like the Dark Horse Star Wars stuff. This is the storyline Dark Empire, which is part of the Legends canon now.
So it's all in. It's all in there. Right?
Yeah, this is a story, just the self-contained story called Dark Empire.
Yep.
We got Luke looking a lot like Vader on that cover.
Looks exactly like Vader.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
You bought a lot of stuff.
I got a
Holy
lot of stuff.
cow,
Yeah, this
man.
was a big one for me.
And you only spent a total of $27.
If only that were true. But when I added everything up, I think it came to...
$27.
No.
Your wife might be watching.
Oh, yeah.
$27.
That was it.
So now let's see what my youngest child, Cassidy, bought. This is her first convention with us back from college, actually flea market, and she bought some stuff. So let's see.
Thanks, Dad and Brian. So I did think that the convention was pretty good. It had nice collectibles. There was a lot of Star Wars stuff. Some stuff too expensive that I wanted to use. I was unprepared because no one took anything other than cash, and I didn't really have cash with me. So I didn't really buy that much. So that was one caveat, because it wasn't really a comic convention that I'm used to. It was more just kind of flea market-esque, but more collectibles. So this is what I got. I collect vinyls, and I tend to look for movie soundtracks that I like. So I got Batman Forever. It was with all of this person's collectibles of vinyl records. However, I found out that after I came home, it is a Laserdisc, which my dad told me what a Laserdisc was. It was only $1, so I don't really find it a loss. I am sad that it's not the vinyl of the music from this movie. However, I will probably just display this art, and it was $1, so I don't really mind. Next, one of the sellers I started talking to him, and he had all of the Star Wars vinyl records from from all the original movies. So I didn't want to buy too many because I didn't really have a lot of money on me. So I got this one, which I haven't played it yet, but it's not music, it's a story. So I'm really excited because I have a few Star Wars vinyl records already of the music. So I will be listening to this one, and it was pretty cheap, less than $10. Then this is my favorite purchase. So let me actually take it out of its cover. I got a Haunted Mansion record from the same person as the Star Wars one. It was, again, pretty cheap, and I haven't played the record yet, so I don't know how it sounds. I don't know if it's scratched, but I just love the art, and I will be displaying this somehow, but it's the storybook of the Haunted Mansion ride in Disney World, and I just think it's gorgeous, and I love it. So this was my best purchase at the convention. And then lastly, my dad and I both bought this because we kept looking at it. It's a Star Wars Death Star game from the original release. And we kept passing by it, and we were like, okay, how much is it? It was $8, so we were like, we can't not get it. So we will be playing this. It has what looks to be all of the pieces. The board itself is just like a really good display piece. So this is the board, and yeah, that was what I got at this small kind of flea market convention. So thanks. Back to you, Dad and Brian.
So Brian's favorite thing that Cassidy bought was definitely that Haunted Mansion album.
That record is awesome. Yeah, no, I'm not a Disney collector, but I know for a fact that Disney collectors would love that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Because it had a lot of
What
Disney
was the date on it?
records.
1969? That's
yeah.
incredible. Amazing.
So there was a lot of Disney records there, and a lot of records in general. The one she passed up on was the Lost Boys. She really wants that.
Oh, the Lost Boys soundtrack?
Yeah,
I had that.
It's $50.
That was a lot of money, yeah.
A lot of money.
But I had that when I bought it when it came out on vinyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can worth some money now.
I actually, interesting story, I bought that and In Excess's Kick on the same day.
Really?
Yeah, in a flea market by my house.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you see, Brian's been going to flea markets forever and ever and ever.
I grew up 2 blocks from a big flea market.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now let's finish this out by seeing what I bought. Mm-hmm. What is my haul? I did not buy as many toys as Brian, but I did buy one toy. I bought this Robin. I have no idea what it's from. It's beat up.
Yeah.
It looks like it's from the 60s. It was $1. I just thought it was cool because it was
an old vintage Robin, yeah.
If you know what this is from, please, comment. I've been looking online and I really don't know what it is.
It's a fairly solid plastic too. It's not like a flimsy. It's not hollow. It's solid
It's
all the way
solid.
through.
I know there's someone out there that knows what this is.
Someone must know. There's no
There's
date
no
on it.
markings on it. There's no date.
If you wanted to, you could also repaint this to make it look like new again.
I think I
Yeah.
might have Cassidy do that.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, you could definitely fix this up.
I have some problems with it though, because to me it is Robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the boots don't really match any boots that he wears.
No,
So
he didn't have boots like that.
I want,
Especially not in the 60s.
Tell me if you know what this is,
In the 60s,
please.
he still had the
I
little
know.
Peter Pan shoes.
Tell me if you know what this. What
I'm
this
very
is from.
curious. Maybe they repainted that from another figure.
Maybe. Tell me if you know what this is. I've been looking on eBay. I can't find anything. I'm searching for a bunch of them. I can't find it. So if you know what this is, please let me know. And I bought comics. Why
You
not?
did? Really?
I did. And I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently than I normally do it. Normally I do all my comics as one haul, but I'm going to do, there was an outside part of the flea market and there was an inside part of the flea market. So I bought some comics from the guy outside. Yes, I know I don't buy comics outside.
But you did.
But I did because this guy owns a store, so everything was in good shape. He took some inventory from his store.
Do you know what I noticed? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
One thing I noticed about the comics outside with the moisture, you could actually see the moisture in the bag.
Yes.
So that right
that
away
one
you're
vendor.
like,
This guy had everything.
Yeah.
Nothing was it. And it's
Yeah.
funny because he had outside, he had comics worth 3 for $1. And he had 5 long boxes. And so when I was looking through them, he was like, I'll sell you all 5 long boxes for $40.
that's what an insane. If you had, that's an amazing deal.
Amazing deal.
But
5 long boxes.
how are you getting 5 long boxes?
That's exactly. But that was the problem.
You don't have a truck.
I couldn't
so-
put it in the
yeah.
car. I wouldn't have been able to fit in the car. And then if I came home with 5 long boxes, my wife probably would have murdered me. Where are my 5 long boxes? And I bought. Listen, this is what I bought from him outside. So I bought a nice stack from him. 3 for $1 is a great price. I couldn't beat it. So that's why I went with that. And I bought some inside, some outside. So let's look at what I bought inside. Brian has a new member of our team.
Yeah.
This is Petra Mocha cover. It's Image Comics. It's called Deep Beyond.
It looks unfinished.
That's exactly why I bought it. I
like
bought it because I just
it says black and white cover, but yeah, that's
I just liked the way the cover was, and
she's great.
I like Peach Mocha.
she's
and
great. Yeah.
Interesting cover. Don't know anything about the story. I bought Grifter.
That's number
one.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, what I was really looking for is I really was looking for another Skate Man comic because one of our loyal subscribers, Ian I, says that he has 5 copies to Brian's 2.
Yeah.
And Ian, here's a picture of Ian, he even has a Skate Man t-shirt. So he gets the record for the most Skate Man
That's
comics.
amazing.
Not Brian.
Yeah.
So Brian needs to find 4 more to get the record.
A Skate Man T-shirt is right up there for me with like a Dragon Sound T-shirt.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Dragon Sound is, look it up.
So, Skate Man T-shirt. So, besides that, I bought my normal DC and Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Here's
Love
some
that cover.
DC stuff. Action Comics 420. It's an old one. These were $3 for $1.
There's a time period where you absolutely cannot beat the sensationalism of Action Comics or
Look
Superman
at this
covers.
cover. Action Comics 453.
They just they just threw out everything to grab attention like crazy. It was just
Superman 268. He's carrying Clark Kent.
an unconscious Clark Kent. Yeah.
How is he doing
What?
that?
I have to read that.
Superman 302. He's a giant fighting a tiny Lex Luthor.
That's wonderful.
It's just the covers are what brought you, man. The covers are why you bought these,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was Julius Schwartz who might have like pushed forward that whole like we got to just
Crazy covers.
whatever goes on the cover sells. Like just I think he might be the guy who came up with the idea for DC's apes too.
The ape is a big
just constant apes. Yeah.
Ape sold better than anything else.
Yeah.
Future State, Superman and Wonder Woman #2. This is the variant cover.
That's nice cover.
Yeah, I bought
I
most
love the
of
character
these.
design.
But what am I paying for these? 33 cents a copy?
Yeah.
3 for $1. JLA Gatekeeper, #1 of 3. Now I'm going to have to find the other two.
I never heard of that.
Me neither. Haven't read it yet. But listen, for 33 cents, how can you go
I'm
wrong?
gonna look that up. I'm curious what that is.
I continued my run of the JLA, which I didn't buy until recently.
It's a good story.
This is 34,
Have you read any of those yet?
No.
They're good. The Morrison stories are really good.
36, 38,
That's the World War III series,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's a good one.
39, 40, 43 is a cool cover.
Because you have Raj.
Raj,
Raj
and
Al Ghul.
looks like everyone's been killed. 48, 49,
Yeah.
52. Hopefully by the summer I will finish this whole run. This is one of the things I'll be looking for at upcoming conventions. 53.
Do you remember off the top of your head if
I don't know who that
how
is.
many
Who
numbers?
is that? It goes, I think, to 115 or 120,
115,
something like that.
okay. That looks like a Brian
Looks like
Hitch
a-
cover, but I'm not sure.
Looks like a future. Yeah, it is. Brian Hitch.
Oh, okay.
Looks like the future one.
Yeah, future version.
60.
Nice.
That's all the DC I bought. I bought some Marvel too. You know, Brian's going to comment on this one. New Mutant 72.
My favorite crossover story.
Inferno. Brian's favorite crossover series.
I love that. I love that story so much.
Mephisto versus the Fantastic Four. #1.
Yeah.
This is really just it's really just a Mephisto.
Yeah, that's a really good cover.
Mephisto versus the Avengers, which is #4 of that series.
I get the feeling, and again, I'm sure this is obvious to anybody who's a much more versed in the MCU. I think Mephisto is going to be pretty important soon.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be really, really important. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Agatha Harkness is getting her own series. So I think
He'll
that's-
start appearing.
Yeah.
The price on his first couple of things will go up. Classic X-Men #3. It has the 25th anniversary cover.
Oh, yeah.
Recently one of our subscribers bought a whole bunch of these. Mark C is also collecting the 25th anniversary ones. He bought a whole bunch at the VFW comic show near him. Mark, if you need this one, let me know. I had this one already. I bought it by mistake.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you need this one, let me know. I'll send it to you, right?
I used to buy classic X-Men in the 90s because it was cheaper than buying...
Arthur Adams cover too.
Yeah, it was cheaper than buying back issues
Yeah, it's
of
cheaper than-
X-Men.
yeah, you're getting the stories.
And you get the old stories, yeah. Because, I mean, in the 90s, X-Men back issues were so expensive.
Another Death's Head #1. I think this is my 4th Death's Head #1. I didn't realize how many of these they put out. Death's Head #1.
That originated with Marvel UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Iron Man sold out? What if #64?
What does that mean, sold out?
I don't know. All of these were 33 cents each. Fantastic Four 34. Variant cover. This is the first key of this haul. It's the first appearance of Wilhelm. But this is a cool cover. It's like a Captain America.
He's a villain, obviously.
Yeah,
with the
he's a
name like
villain.
Wilhelm.
He's Dr. Doom's lead scientist.
Ah, okay.
So that's the first key. I actually bought some keys for 33 cents.
Nice.
Fantastic Four 503. See, Brian bought toys, I bought comics.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what happened.
Fantastic Four 2.3.
Nice.
Fantastic Four The End 1 of 6.
Oh, very interesting.
2 of 6. 5 of 6. Unfortunately, I missed a couple. Guess I'll be looking for these.
Yeah, you're going to be on the search for those now.
Fantastic 5, number 2. Another limited series. No,
Yeah.
number 1.
No.
Number 3 with Supergirl. Number 4.
Wait, Supergirl or Spider-Girl?
Spider-Girl. I'm sorry, Spider-Girl. Sorry.
Spider-Girl.
Spider-Girl. Number 4, and I need number 1. And finally, 2099 World of Doom Special.
Good cover.
So that's my haul from outside. I also have a haul from inside. Shocker. Here's my haul from inside.
Jeez.
These were, if you bought, what was it, 20, were $10 for 20, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was $10 for 20.
10 for 20.
So I think I ended up buying 40. So it's 50 cents a piece.
So you should have lowered it even more.
I should have lowered it. Animal Man 69.
69, dudes!
Always a good series, by the way. Animal Man is great.
Animal Man 79.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Vertigo trading cards? I didn't know those existed.
Guess what Brian's going to be looking for at the next show? Vertigo trading cards. I had no idea. I never knew that. If you have any, send Brian Vertigo trading cards.
I really wish I hadn't seen that.
Countdown to Final Crisis 26.
Nice.
With the monitor on the cover. Countdown 30. I'm going to read all of these at once. All the countdowns. 45. Oh, 42. Sorry, I'm reading it backwards. 59. 42. Final Crisis, Superman Beyond. This is the 3D cover. It's a variant cover.
Cool.
Cyborg number 3. I like these DNA covers.
This is the most
recent one. I really like these DNA covers. I'm going to start buying more of these if I see them in the dollar bin. This is key number 2. It's the first appearance of Solus and Atlas.
Nice.
I like these kind of negative space looking covers.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm going to start
really
looking for more of these.
It's really visually catching, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JLA, The Secret Society of Superheroes, Book 1.
Nice.
This is written by a friend of the show, Howard Chaykin.
Okay.
He is a friend of the show. He liked us.
All right.
Check out our Howard Chaykin interview. Brian's still getting over it.
I'm still getting over it.
The Amazing Adventures of the JLA, number 1. This is that was a great figure line.
Oh, yeah.
Justice figures.
The Justice, yeah, those are great.
Another good one. Some more JLA that I've been collecting. JLA 71. Steel. I didn't steal it.
Oh, this is not, by the way, not the Superman
Not
Steel.
Superman Steel.
The other Steel.
Steel number 2. This was like, I don't understand why they even made this a series. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand why they picked this character to get his own series.
You know, I think
Steel number 3.
he was a fairly prominent, way after this, a fairly prominent character in the Earth 2 series.
Steel number,
right?
yes. Steel
He
number
was,
5.
yeah. That was a great series from the New
Yeah,
52.
when you see him, actually him drawn by Alex Ross is an awesome cover on the
yes.
old JSA ones. If you watched my last whole video where I was at Fourth Wall Comics, I said that I was going to start collecting something, and I started. I'm going to try to collect the whole entire Milestone line, and I got a couple. Blood Syndicate 10. This is key number 3. This is the first appearance of the Shadow Cabinet Sideshow, Oro, Iota, and Bad Betty. So now I got the first appearance of all 6 of the Shadow Cabinet members.
Yes.
See? I'm
Cool.
going to try to buy all of these now. 13, Blood Syndicate 13.
Nice.
And Blood Syndicate number 18.
Ooh.
So see, I'm on my way. These are not easy to find.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love most about going through dollar bins is finding comics that I had no idea existed. And these next couple, I had no idea existed. Commandy at Earth's End. This was a follow-up Commandy series in the 90s. It's an Elseworld story.
Neat.
It went like 6 or 7 issues.
Ah.
So I had no idea it existed.
That's cool.
So I'll start looking for this. Justice League Quarterly. This is number 6.
Yeah.
Justice League Quarterly number 8. That's my DC run. Here's my Marvel run. This also, I had no idea existed. I did a little research on it. We may be doing a video on this going forward. This is called Quest Probe. This is Quest Probe number 1. This is the 4th key in this. It's the first appearance of the Chief Examiner. That's the Chief Examiner. So what this is there was a company called AI, Adventure International, that made a video game for Marvel Comics. And with each different video game, they released a comic book that went with the video game. There was supposed to be 12. There ended up only being 4 because it did not do well.
Oh, that's like the Earth Quests, Water Quest. Remember the Atari?
Yeah.
They had the comics that went with,
So this goes with the game. This is the Hulk one. So this is issue number 1. Issue number 2 was Spider-Man. It stopped at issue number 4. Issue number 5 was supposed to be the X-Men, which they actually ended up using in a Marvel Age later on. But I think we're going to do a video on what Quest Probe is.
So they used the stories, but didn't continue the Quest Probe.
They didn't continue the games. The games failed.
Oh, okay.
So that's what these were. I'd never seen those before.
Does that mean the comics ran longer than the game, or they just took those stories and used them in different places?
I think the comics ran longer than the games. Did not do well. Squadron Supreme number 2, the limited series. It was the last one I needed. Now I have the whole entire series. I was very fond of this when I was a kid because I thought it was really cool that Marvel was doing something like that was DC characters.
Mocked the DC characters,
but they were Marvel versions of the DC characters. So it always got me.
That's what the Squadron. If you don't know, the Squadron Supreme is the Justice League in the Marvel universe, basically. Yeah.
Another Death Head number 1. This is Death Metal number 1.
It's like his second incarnation, I think.
This is like the 6th number 1 of Death Head that I have gotten. And then when I tried to look this one up to catalog it, Death Metal, only thing that came up was DC. This was so hard to find on my...
Really?
Wow. Because DC had all that Death Metal stuff.
All that whole Death Metal crossover series,
2099 number 7.
Oh, nice.
Doom versus the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four, number 569.
69, dudes! That's another Brian Hitch cover you got there.
Yep. That's 569.
Gotcha.
It's a...
what do they call it?
Wraparound.
Wraparound, thank you.
There you go, wraparound cover. Submariner number 2. It's a limited series, Prince Name of the Submariner.
Nice.
I needed number 2.
I like that he wears a cape but no shirt.
I needed number 3.
That's confidence.
He is. He's muscular.
He's confident. Very confident.
Also found another series that I had no idea existed until I was flipping through the dollar bins inside. Again, they were 20 for 10. The Fearless Defenders.
Oh.
Never knew this existed. This is key number 5. This is the first appearance of Annabelle Riggs. I didn't know anything about this series.
Oh, so this is a later, like during the Marvel Now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Version of the Didn't know the series. Cullen Bunn
Who is that?
Writing it.
Oh, Cullen Bunn's good.
Yeah.
And you got, who's that, Valkyrie and Misty Knight.
Yeah. So that was number 1. Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3.
You got to let me know what that's like, because I'll look that up and read it.
Number 4. I think that's a variant cover.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Number 6. No number 5. Because God forbid I ever get a full run.
That might mean that somebody shows up in number 5 that's like super important, you know? Like
number 7.
Like the Micronauts with Captain Universe in that one issue.
Number 8. See, I bought almost the entire run except for number 5. Number 9. And last but not least, number 10. So I'm only missing number 5.
No, that's number 5 missing, huh?
So I bought, this is my inside haul.
Very nice.
So that, I mean, good deals. The outside comics were $3 for $1. Inside comics were 20 comics for 10. So 33 cents and 50 cents a book. I can't beat that.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have more time to spend going through them, but this was definitely a successful flea market run.
Yes.
And everyone commented on my shirt when we were there.
Yeah, people really like that.
Yeah. This is my,
Where'd you get that from?
Disney.
Nice.
So, there you go. Another haul from us. I think this is actually our longest haul video, so.
Yeah. This was a big one.
Thanks for sticking with us. Love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
We'll see you next time.
I love you.